Hey everyone, Halloween is over, but Art's reign of terror can't be confined to the month of ghouls and ghosts, so enough wasting time and let's get straight into Terrifier 2. Cue the intro. So this sequel picks up immediately after the first one with Art finishing off the coroner, cause why wouldn't he? This man basically tells the victim to stop resisting, bashes his brains in, but before finishing the job, replaces a missing eye with one of the coroners. Okay, I didn't realize you were a descendant of the Uchihas. So once that matter is taken care of, this devious demon goes to a laundromat to wash his clothes and leaves, racking up another body because of course. This is basically the equivalent of a crackhead except replace crack with gore. So 1 year later, we get introduced to our protagonist Sienna and her family, including her brother Jonathan. Art the Clown has become infamous within the time skid because Jonathan is already considering cosplaying as the demon.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
I understand that kids around that age start to become interested in the macabre and disturbing, but dressing up as a mass murderer is something else.
Boy ain't right.
But hey, at least this is more sensible than adults falling for the likes of Dahmer and Manson. Seriously, if anyone you know is like this, don't waste your time, because as they say, don't save her, she don't wanna be saved, don't save her, she don't wanna be saved. So after Sienna and her mother shut down the boys' cosplaying hopes, we cut to her falling asleep to this commercial and finds herself a part of the advertisement. She starts to get the feeling that something isn't right, and that becomes obvious when a special guest is introduced. You know him, you love him, you can't get enough of him, Art the Clown.
No!
So he comes over to the protagonist offering a little something. That being a beating heart surrounded by all types of worms. Yeah, but it doesn't end there because the creature has a special surprise for the audience, which so happens to be a Tommy gun. The gun-toting goblin sprays the crowd full of bullets and then feels the need to light up the host for good measure. Because this is a dream, of course, Sienna survives and makes her way over to the cereal box as the mental mime approaches. She ends up pulling out a sword right as the flames launch, only to wake up and find her dresser mysteriously on fire. Just look at those angel wings burning to a crisp, almost as if he is saying God won't save you. The psychological warfare is strong with this one, but take note of how the sword didn't receive a single scratch. Again, this is foreshadowing. So tomorrow on Halloween, the same day the reporter from the first movie died, we skip ahead to find Jonathan go on a bathroom break when he just so happens to encounter Art the Clown and a mysterious girl messing around with a dead possum?
That's weird.
Our lovable balloon says he's all yours to the boy who unsurprisingly takes off. Yeah, I bet you'll regret wanting to dress up as this madman now. A little later, Sienna ends up going to a costume shop to purchase a new pair of wings for her costume when look who just so happens to be there.
What the hell? Oh my god, no way.
Does Art have some kind of psychic link to her? Cause why is he posted up as if he knew where she was going to go? Anyway, the protagonist takes the word no sudden movements to heart, slowly moving away from him and hurries to buy her stuff before purchasing the nearest flight out of the States. Just as she is looking for a purse, the conniving Carny hands it over and spends a good second instilling a glimpse of true fear by trolling her, just like he was doing to the customers inside of Spirit Halloween. If you are wondering why Art hasn't turned her into the next white woman tragedy, the first movie made it very clear this is nothing but a game to him. Just as Sienna exits the building, the demon isn't ready to leave without racking up his body count. So right as this creature is looking for money from his goodie bag to pay the cashier, he starts revealing a small assortment of his arsenal. Now, upon realizing this clown is armed, how do you expect the man to react? A. Let the demented deviant have the horn for free and then act like nothing happened? B. Threaten to whoop his ass. If you know anything about the black men in horror movies, you know our survival rate is under 25%. I mean, the great Kincaid couldn't survive a second Elm Street movie. The cashier chose B and Art was like, how dare you deny a paying customer, with a beer bottle to the face. Then proceeds to gouge the man's eye out and then finish him off with a decapitation. All you had to do was follow the Joel approach. He knew as soon as something wasn't right to get out of town. Ain't no amount of money worth dying for. A minute later, a mother and her son pass by to find Art messing around with a cashier's skull, but because this is a costume shop, they assume it's fake and simply mosey along without asking any questions. About an hour later, we see Sienna's friend Allie offering candy to trick-or-treaters when the murderous mime happens to appear. She is like, silly clown, trick-or-treating is for kids, and shuts the door in his face. But this man doesn't take no for an answer, so she finally gives in and tosses some candy in his face. As he grabs the sweet, she makes the worst decision possible by catching a glimpse of his murder weapons. He retreats to enjoy the candy while plotting for tonight's mayhem. We catch up with Sienna, who is getting fitted in her final girl attire, and I swear the next time this outfit makes a return, we need a theme song, cause she basically underwent a magical girl transformation. Later on, something breaks downstairs in Allie's house, which leads her to check it out. And lo and behold, dun dun dun, Art the Clown has returned, folks. Now, this movie is infamous for the following scene, and despite loads of censorship, I didn't think I would need to do this so soon. See this timestamp? If you are a weaker constitution, you got until the end of this sentence to click here, otherwise you are warned. Allie makes her way up to her room to try and escape through the window, but unsurprisingly doesn't get very far. Art the Clown throws her to the bed and slices her face, cutting an eye, but it doesn't end there because this demented devil grabs a small pair of scissors and tears her scalp off to the point where you can see brain, just like that one episode of Billy and Mandy. Then he starts ripping through her back with a scalpel, exposing her spine before breaking off an arm like it was a twig. Apparently this diabolical deviant got the super strength buff that zombies like Jason usually come with. Purely for funnies, he splits Allie's remaining arm down the middle before drenching the room in even more blood with some extra cuts. Oh wait, this demon is actually leaving? Could it be Allie actually has a chance to escape?
No!
This creature returns to rain down bleaching salt for shits and giggles before tearing off her face, resulting in unadulterated screams of agony. We cut to Allie's mother coming home, noticing the house was broken into. Naturally, she goes to find her daughter and, well... Yeah, I can't even show this even if I wanted to. All you need to know is that no amount of therapy will ever make this okay because she finds Allie being hacked away by this psycho. Look at this menace to society signaling her to laugh while she is left speechless. And what makes this worse is the following. That's right, she lived long enough to mutter those last words while Art is laughing like this is supposed to be the punchline. I had to rewatch this movie twice to make this video, yet this still manages to get under my skin. And for the record, I've seen the likes of Martyrs where the back half is rampant with torture, Irreversible that has a scene that goes on for 9 minutes, yet this still managed to unnerve me. Congratulations Damien and Leon for creating this film. Since we are at the halfway point of the movie, might as well keep going. A couple minutes later, a few kids stop by at Allie's house where Art the Clown greets them. Instead of adding to his kill count, he decides to get the trick-or-treaters with candy using the head of Allie's mother as a candy basket. I'm not even surprised at this point. This monster basically followed the most important rule of horror sequels from the wise man himself.
Number 1, the body count is always bigger. Number 2, death scenes are always much more elaborate. More blood, more gore. Carnage, candy. Your core audience just expects it.
While Sienna is out vibing at a Halloween party and Jonathan runs away after not being hurt by his mother, she looks into the garage to find her car slathered with what looks to be shaving cream and toilet paper. Naturally assuming her son was responsible, the mother starts to clean the car while plotting on how to punish the no-good preteen, when she notices someone else is in the vehicle. That someone else being, who do you expect?
Oh my God!
Well, compared to all the other kills, at least she went out as painlessly as possible. Jonathan comes home to find her mother's remains at the dining table and the carnivorous Carny pulling dinner out of the oven. Like any sane person would do, the boy runs for his life before he gets injected with 40 cc's of Diddy Dust, but I'm not gonna waste your time. The boy gets put to sleep and taken hostage. So around this point, Sienna is being taken home by Brooke and her boyfriend after the so-called friend had the genius idea to slip Molly in her drink to mellow her out.
What did he say?
Oh, hell nah. And I just love how hearing Sienna saying she was on medication prior to being drugged, how they're like, sorry, but I was trying to do something nice for you, Miss Morbid. The gaslighting is truly a sight to behold. The protagonist gets a call by who she thinks is Jonathan, telling her to come over by the carnival, but it turns out it was the demon girl accompanying Art. You know, the one playing with the dead animal earlier, the one who made an introduction by defecating within the first 10 minutes of the movie?
Brother,
Quick side tangent, but aside from carnival music, what do y'all think Art the Clown listens to in between catching bodies? I'm sure someone's gonna mention the obvious, Insane Clown Posse, Ice 9 Kills, or that old Eminem. But I think his playlist would consist of 3 6 Mafia back when the crew was on that devil shit, Rob Zombie, Health, and throw in some Ramirez for good measure. Anyway, Sienna arrives at the destination and wastes no time looking for her brother while these two are just getting there. Cause this is basically a modern exploitation flick. Brooke's boyfriend goes outside to use the bathroom when you-know-who decides to take center stage again.
oh, great heavens!
That's right, he stabs his dingling several times before standing up, looking directly at Brooke, channeling his inner Michael with that stab, stab, stab timing. Art breaks through the glass and pulls her outside the car. However, Brooke understands the words, it's all in the legs, and kicks his clown ass to make a break for it. Yeah, turns out she got cut on the glass, which is why she is limping while the maniac is walking menacingly. Just look at that motion, just put some funk music on top, loop the clip, and you got a horror playlist ready to go.
Come on, come and get your way. Come and get your way.
After tripping on the trash because cliches demand so, she ends up running into the evil lair and winds up at a dead end. Art just pulls up and you already know in his head he is like,
"End of the line, little girl."
Brooke makes one last stand, however he is like, that's big, but I've got better. He takes a page out of Dale Gribble's playbook except replace pocket sand with pocket acid. Her face is bleeding while this creature wastes no time offering this victim's soul to hell. Then get this, right after putting her in a casket, he does a
Kalimar, Kalimar, Kalimar.
I swear this man's penchant for murder and mayhem may be more than Michael and Freddy combined. In fact, when the new Mortal Kombat comes out, the game developers need to include this kind in the DLC because the fatalities would be insane. Sienna makes her way to the bathroom where she spots Brooke's remains on the floor. While she is on the verge of a mental breakdown, Art is just posted up against the door like,
Yeah, that was my handiwork, ho. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
The words "fight now, cry later" are well instilled into the protagonist, especially when her brother is only a few steps away, because she introduces the Psycho to another round of tetanus, giving him time to run. However, that is short-lived as this madman bashes her against the wall, door, and mirror. Since the word honor is not in his vocabulary, he kicks and stomps on her while she is down before pursuing Jonathan. Somehow the preteen didn't get out of there because the clown is only a few feet away. Jonathan tries to hide, but because this demon already has a full layout of the map, he is like,
Enemy spotted.
this menace is like time for a new gang called Uncle and starts slicing up the boy in a manner that will make the guy behind Solo cream his pants. Luckily, Sienna gets the drop on Art with his own weapon and gives him that good old 1, 2, 3 combo. Unfortunately, thanks to his high stamina, the demon isn't down, but this does buy time for the siblings to run away. I'm not gonna lie, getting her head slammed one too many times must have caused this final girl to experience TTE, cause she has the bright idea to leave her brother all alone while she looks for the maniacal mime. You saw how he appeared right behind you. This creature clearly studied from the Iran card. To no one's surprise, Art appears right behind Jonathan like Ukiora and starts giving him that good old whip treatment that his mother wishes she had done years ago. Sienna pulls up getting a few hits in, but this kind is like, get that weak shit out of here. Proceeds to toss her to the side like fruit, left to rot for a month, and then turns his attention back to his favorite play toy. This loon unleashes another helping a corporal punishment, but Sienna comes in to protect her brother. But he just channels his inner Mr. Ruckus in response.
Hold on, I just catch you trying to save your brother. Hold on, I just catch you trying to be a hero. Hold on, I just catch you trying to be a final girl.
Sienna realizes she's too old for spankings and pulls the cat o' nine tails away from him and says, this belongs to me now. This is what we've been waiting for, a final girl that tells this villain his performance is a flop. She decides it's time for a weapon change and wastes no time delivering the final blow. But I can't believe this. The clown is still alive and catches her lacking. Jonathan tries to do something, however, this clown is like, unhand me, runt. Although, just look at what he happens to get his hands on.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Art has his hands up like that one guy who surrendered to Revy, but this preteen knows better and fires one straight into the chest. Congratulations, Jonathan, you have entered the Hall of Badass Kids, which includes Annie from Child's Play.
This is the end, friend.
And Alex from Leprechaun.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
Sienna gets up to see her mom right in front of her, and this made it very clear the battle rages on, cause that was the demon girl who gave her a glimpse of her mother's final moments. Jesus, I don't think there's any kind of therapy or overpriced pills that can even begin to help her regain her sanity after this. She lashes out of pure hatred, but Art is like,
Let me show you how it's done.
he chokes the life out of her, but refusing to go out like Drake, she spits blood in his face, spreading the pathogen. This man is like really hoe and gives her the Butch Magnus special. Despite her back being blown out, Sienna gets up to what looks like the gates of hell. She turns around to find Art kind enough to return her sword, but not in the manner she would have liked.
Now give the dads my regards, ho.
Sienna falls into this weird purgatory with some of Art's previous victims while he is out here trying to make Jonathan into a midnight snack. It seems like all hope is lost that this monster is about to bust a victory dance. Yet, through the power of plot, Sienna is brought back to life and escapes this nightmare to give Art the clown his just desserts. She pierces his skull with her father's sword and then says, where do you think you're going, with a strike to the neck again, and again, and again. But this monster is on his knees like,
You don't got the stomach for this, ho.
he would come to regret those words cause Sienna delivers the finishing blow, finishing the Carny off with his favorite method of decapitation. She and Jonathan share a tender moment as it seems evil has lost before the demon girl appears to collect Art's head and retreat. Now you gotta be thinking this is the end of Art the Clown, right?
No!
Remember Victoria from the first movie? Well, she is currently in a mental hospital for what, you may ask? You know that reporter who died at the start of the first movie? Yeah, that was her handiwork. Turns out all the trauma from encountering the crazed Carny caused her to go completely off the deep end. She ends up writing the words Art and Vicky together with her own blood and then basically gives birth to Art's head, which is where the movie ends. Do I need to say anything else at this point? I mean, the demon's methods for mayhem and adoration for audacious acts speak for himself, but y'all heard me speak for long enough. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, or Blue Sky. Stay away from anyone dressed as a clown on the streets, and until next time, take care. Cue the outro.